Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. This is Defub21, and yes, another shock surprise, another video game trailer. This is a brand new announcement trailer in the proper sense of the word, as in is just announcing a brand new, up until now unknown video game. The video game in question is Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens, which is obviously the Lego game version, or the Lego Star Wars game based on the most recent Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens. Can't remember if I've actually ever owned one of these games. I've played them certainly, but I can't off the top of my head remember. Maybe I owned one, maybe I got on cheap on the Xbox 360 at some point. I just can't remember off the top of my head. What I can say, however, is that these games have generally been viewed very, very positively. They've gotten very good reviews. Not just the Lego Star Wars games, but the Lego Marvel games as well have gotten very good reviews. They tend to be quite funny, visually quite appealing, and they're kind of more of a family-orientated game. In fact, I would actually go to the point in saying that TT Games, which is the developer / publisher, not just of this game, but of all the Lego Star Wars games and all the Lego games that have been made, certainly over the last couple of years that are part of that series, your Harry Potters, your Marvels, and so on, has probably become, both due to the quantity of games they've developed and released. I'm looking it up on Wikipedia. They seem to have launched 30 plus or 31 thereabouts titles. And I've never heard of one of those games getting a bad review. In fact, the reviews have generally been quite positive. And considering the number of games they produced in a relatively short space of time, I think they've only been around for maybe a little over a decade, and the quality of those titles, they're quite possibly one of, if not the most successful developer of, well, for want of a better term, family-orientated games. In other words, games that you can leave your 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old to play without any issue, any worries about inappropriate content or what have you. That TT Games is probably one of the most both prolific and successful, critically successful and commercially successful, and in terms of the number of games produced, prolific developers and publishers of kind of, as I said, family-orientated games that the industry has seen at this point, maybe quite since Nintendo. Now, that's saying an awful lot, because the Nintendo's, a very, very, very high bar, and of course Nintendo's IPs are all original that the company created, while TT Games uses licensed properties, whether it's Harry Potter, Star Wars, the various Marvel universe / characters. But that doesn't get around the fact that at this stage they've got almost 30 plus games under their belt. The reviews have generally been very good. I've never heard of them putting out an absolute stinker, or even one that was even mediocre, let alone an absolute stinker. And considering that sector of the industry has been effectively abandoned by pretty much everyone except for TT Games, your odd first-party game from Sony and so on, and Microsoft, and then of course Nintendo itself. That's it's a pretty impressive feat. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that they're on the same level as Nintendo. They're not. But still, in terms of what is a space that doesn't get much attention these days, for the very obvious reason that it's a very, back when I was a kid, it was the be all and end all, the kind of, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old market, that kind of age group. The early teens to the, single-digit kids were the vast bulk of the market. But decades after my childhood was over, it has changed dramatically. It's the 18 to 34-year-old, stereotypical 18 to 34-year-old white male that makes up the bulk of the market and consumes the bulk of the content. That is beginning to change. You're getting more and more women in, which is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. Fundamentally, TT Games particularly among Western developers slash publishers. I don't know of any others out there that are both churning out that number of titles, family orientated games or family appropriate games, that are also doing so well both critically and commercially. So they're probably, as I said, probably the single biggest player to emerge, certainly since the turn of the century slash millennium, to my mind. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Making these games. Now, I could go on and on and on, but obviously we actually have to look at the trailer now. It's getting on 5 minutes. We still haven't actually looked at it. So without further ado, let's take a look, and I'll let you know what I think afterwards. Toodaloo.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it? The dark side. And the light.
Well, ooh, that definitely looks good. This is as a trailer, it has definitely done its job, or two jobs, very well. One, it is a very good announcement trailer. It announces the game's existence and the fact that it is coming this year. And two, it has gotten me certainly interested in this game. I don't know how much it'll cost. If it's like 60 quid, again, me being me, I might put off buying it. But it certainly, again, gives me a good bit of interest in this. I have to say that it's one of the trailers I've so far kind of reviewed, as it were, this year, aka 2016. Again, we're barely into February at this point, so it's still early days yet, but this is one of the best trailers I've reviewed on this channel so far this year, and it is by far the best announcement trailer for a brand new game that wasn't previously known to exist, certainly as far as I'm aware anyway. It is, in terms of compared to the previous two trailers, reviews of announcement trailers, which I'll actually leave links to in the description. Compared to those two trailers, this is clearly a much higher quality trailer in terms of production values. Whether it's all CG or it's rendered in engine, I don't know. It doesn't say so. It does say one way or the other in the trailer. By the looks of the graphics, I would say that this game was designed, or certainly what we were looking at, if it was in game, was certainly current gen, not last gen, in terms of the quality of the imagery, resolution, the lighting effects, and all the rest. Looks very, very good. And again, in keeping with TT Games, Star Wars games, it's got a great sense of humor, lots of little in-jokes of one kind or another, some quite silly, like, again, the old school mechanical alarm clock going off, and Finn throwing the Finn character throwing away said clock. And then of course you've got the pilot, whose name, Oh, I've only seen the movie once, so and I have that in my defense. Although I will buy the Blu-ray. Um, the pilot, messing around inside his cockpit and all these comedy things happen rather than what he wants to happen. Visually looks, as I said, looks pretty good, very good. The production quality of the trailer is very good. It uses the same music and voice acting from from I think the first of the trailers that came out for the Force Awakens, aka the movie. And overall, it's a very good trailer. Very good trailer. Probably the best trailer I've seen so far this year overall, and certainly by far the best announcement trailer. Which again, I'll leave the links to the last two I looked at in the description for this video, so you can have a look at those. And they are pretty. One of them is downright terrible, and the other one is better, but it's still. This is the again, to be clear, is also particularly quite in feat that it's made me interested in this game, because I know a lot of people liked The Force Awakens, and I'm not saying I didn't like it, but it was just kind of it's one of the reasons I'm going to go out and buy it on Blu-ray, is so that I can watch it again in the privacy of my own home with my headphones on, and get all the sound and all the rest. And hopefully maybe I'll review my view on it. But at this point, a lot of people the press were giving it 5 out of 5 stars. For me, it was The Force Awakens, the movie, was a warm 3 at best. Wasn't bad, but I don't think it was great either. So it's quite the feat that this trailer has gotten me interested in a game based on that movie. But again, very good trailer, one of the best trailers so far this year. By far the best announcement trailer that I've reviewed for this channel this year so far. Although again, we've still got the rest of this month and another 10 to go. So who knows what'll happen in the meantime. But so far so good, me likey. And this game is definitely now on my radar. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. And leave your thoughts in the comments. I do look at the comments. I do respond to commenters. Thoughts, positive criticism, suggestions of one kind or another, all are welcome. And I do, as I said, respond to commenters. So without further ado, this is Defub21 signing off. Toodaloo.